Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today, it is Sunday, March 12th. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you could do me a huge favor, please hit the subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Today, it is daylight savings, and I'm actually excited. I've always loved spring forward because I hate in the wintertime when the sun sets at 5 o'clock. And yeah, that's horrible. I hate when they do that, when we fall back and we lose that hour. I love that extra hour in the evening. So tonight it's going to be great. We get an extra hour of sunlight, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. But this morning it was sort of a harrowing morning. It normally doesn't affect me because I work from home. I don't have to get up at any certain time. So normally it doesn't bother me, but this morning it did. Because normally I wake up at about 6 or 7 o'clock. And so this morning when I woke up and I looked at my phone, it said 6. I'm like, wait, so this is what I would normally see as 5 o'clock. So it's still really early. And so I rolled over and went back to sleep. And then I woke up at 9 and I'm like, oh, wow, I got to get ready for church. Like, you know, so it was just one of those things. I was just extra tired, and maybe you were like that too. Maybe you needed that extra cup of coffee this morning. But anyways, if you see this glorious thing right here, this is a microphone that Mike Bowman purchased for me. He said that he had some extra credits on Amazon, and he was more than blessed to be able to send this to me. So thank you very much, Mike. I really appreciate you very, very much. And I hope the sound quality is better on this video. Today's video is going to be another plot twist, my 600-pound life. And this one is Geno and Nico. Apparently they have another wild story, and it's another plot twist compilation. So let's get started on this. Let me double check. Okay, let's get started right.
Yeah, baby, Houston!
My 600-pound life just kicked off its 11th season, and the first episode began with two cousins, Gino and Nico. While Gino's weight was more severe, both patients desperately needed to lose some weight and used each other as emotional supports throughout their journey. Before we dive into the journey though, don't forget to subscribe to the
Even though those two are cousins, that's why I often say it's not good to meet somebody in rehab. Because if you're with somebody who has the same problem you do, it's very much easier to get caught up in the addiction that you have. So if you have some good friends you've had for a long time, and you're both or all of you are involved in a drug addiction, how difficult is it going to be for you to hang out with that same people or that same group of people and then stop doing that drug? It's going to be much, much harder. So that's why I often talk about Tammy, how she met her husband in rehab or in that weight loss clinic. I'm like, that's not going to happen. I don't have a lot of high hope for that relationship lasting and her staying with her diet. Even though she had surgery, even though she's doing really, really great right now, we'll see what happens when she's on her own and when the two of them are living together in their home in Kentucky, whether or not she's going to be able to maintain and not screw up her weight loss surgery. But we'll see. But in the same vein, having cousins, having brothers or sisters or somebody in your family who's dealing with the same problem, it's not going to be easy, but it looks like they're both willing to go on this journey together. So we'll see what happens.
channel if you haven't already, and click that bell.
Yeah, I want to sit down for a moment.
I don't like when Gino stands up and he can't stand up, or he breathes heavy. I can't take it. I don't want to hear it. It makes me upset.
I mean, yeah, that's something that happens when you're really big. You breathe really heavy, just doing basic mundane things. Walking across the living room, washing a dish, going to the bathroom, all those things make you breathe really heavy. And it used to bother my mom really bad because she would think I was dying. Like I was literally gasping for air because I couldn't breathe. And so she would get really worried about it, and she'd mention it sometimes. But the thing that frustrated me the most sometimes was my oldest niece. She would watch me and she would stare at me as I would sit down in a chair after walking just a few feet, and I'd be just gasping for air, looking like I was dying, and she'd stare at me, like probably with a little concern and a little worry, but also like looking at me like I was a circus freak show or something like that. And I never like screamed at her or nothing about it, but yeah, it just bothered me, like being watched. It's very embarrassing knowing that you're just out of breath walking a few feet.
His size, Gino still lives with his mother, and it seems like the two of them have spent a little too much time together.
I did go to culinary school, so I do know what I'm doing. But she, of course, still treats me like a little kid. I've been living with her off and on for 31 years now. So I guess it's normal for us getting on each other's nerves at this point. Hey, Ma.
Gino's casually downplaying his mother's cooking ability, while his mother sends him away because the simple act of standing is making him break a sweat. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a few signs of an unhealthy dynamic here.
Yeah, that is a very unhealthy dynamic. And sometimes it happens when you're in your 30s and you're still living at home with mom. And I've had that complication with my mom. She moved in with me a few years ago, and we butt heads sometimes because she thinks she's the head of the family. I think I'm the head of the family because, hey, my name is on the lease. I pay most of the bills, and she does help pay the bills, and she helps clean and stuff like that. But it's really a difficult dynamic because she wants to step in and do things and take over things, and I'm trying to take over things, and it can be very difficult when you are an adult living at home, especially when you're an older adult. If you're like 19 or 20, it's different than when you're in your 30s and living at home.
Obesity does run in the family because I was heavy, my mother was heavy, so he was getting it no matter what.
Genetics obviously play a role in somebody's size, and I'm not debating that, but maybe eating that many sausages in one sitting also has something to do with Gino's current weight predicament. Just a small thought though.
In my family,
Yeah, I totally agree with that too. Your obesity is a result of what you eat, right? Calories in, calories out. If you're eating a whole plate full of food or 5 plates worth of food, that's really going to determine what happens with your weight. But I never dispute, and I get a lot of flack for this when I talk about there are other things that can sort of help obesity along, such as genetics, such as medication, such as trauma, things like that that people deal with. Like some people get really angry when I show sympathy towards obese people. And I don't really understand it. Like they're angry and they hate fat people, and it's obvious that they hate fat people. And I'm not talking about the fat positivity people who think you hate them because you're trying to lose weight. I'm talking about they have a real hatred for fat people, and they're like, they did it to themselves. They deserve no sympathy. They can change on their own. And I'm sitting back thinking like, it's a lot more complicated than that because things like this do run in the family. There are traditions, there are genetics, there are things that help obesity become more prevalent within certain families than others. And if you have someone in the family, a grandmother, a mother, a parent, a sister, whatever, who's obese, you are more likely to become obese. And the more members of the family who are obese, it seems to be a genetic component within that family. They're used to eating certain things. And if they take medications or if they have a disease like PCOS, it can make losing weight much more difficult. Things can certainly slow down your metabolism and make it harder. So, no, I don't think it's all these things that cause you to gain 600 pounds. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's things like that that can make it more difficult to lose weight and easier to gain weight. So you just have to sort of realize that, and you're gonna have to work harder. Some people have to work harder at it than others. That's why weight loss surgery is a solution for some people. Because like me, I've tried and tried and tried. I've been on many diets. I've gained and lost 100 pounds up and down so many different times. Permanently so far has been weight loss surgery.
never ran out of food. I've been to parties where the chips be going out in my family. We'd have backup food.
Once again, we can see the unhealthy dynamic at play here. Gino's mother clearly does not believe in the concept of moderation, and growing up, she was able to eat whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted.
Here's cereal, your kind that you like. You ate the whole box I got you the other day? Oh, look at this strawberry fluff.
Yeah, I actually want this.
I actually want to try this.
It's simply not.
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing. You have a mom here who's obviously an enabler, who's buying all the fluff and saying, hey, you ate this entire box of cereal the other day. Let's get you another box. Hey, we're going to get you a couple more boxes because it seems to last you a single day. So we're going to buy you all this food. We're going to get this fluff because I want to try it and I know you want to try it. And so this is where a lot of it begins, is having an enabler. Like, how are you going to be able to say no when someone is waving it in your face and saying, oh, wow, this looks really great. I think you'll like it too. Like, really, I mean, can you really not see how difficult it would be to lose weight under that circumstance?
Not in her DNA to deny somebody food, and that upbringing is clearly sending her son into an early grave.
Who's ready for Texas? What's up, baby? Let's get this going. What's up, baby? It's time, baby.
Gino and company officially embark on their journey to drnow with what seems to be a bright attitude. However, they're leaving from Connecticut, which, if you're not too familiar with US geography, is about as far away from Texas as you can possibly be. Let's see if this happy demeanor lasts.
And I'm really grateful that everyone is coming with me. It just means a lot to me to have my family there for me. I'm a little worried because Nico said it's something like 26 hours on the road. I can already tell it's going to be painful.
Yeah, we often talk about how a lot of these people travel plane across the country in a vehicle, driving 20, 25, 30 hours just to get to Houston. And when you're that big, it can be extremely painful because you don't fit well on the seat and there's a lot of bumps and moving around, and it could really hurt your back and hurt your legs, and it's very easy to get a blood clot.
But I have an appointment with drnow in 4 days.
Everything's big in Texas, it's about to get bigger.
Well, that's pretty heartwarming. The whole family's coming, and at least Gino's aware that this trip won't be easy.
God gracious.
Oh, here we are.
Oh,
And walk in, Nico.
Yeah, that's not maybe a great sign. 1 hour of driving might not even get you out of Connecticut, and Gino already needs a break.
To get to Dr. Now on time, I have...
Why are they taking off at night when it's already dark? I mean, that sounds weird. I mean, if you're gonna travel, you need to like maybe start at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It looks like they started in the evening at nighttime when it was already dark, and they only drove an hour and they're already getting a hotel room. Like that's money you didn't need to spend that night because you could have stayed home and then left the next morning. Like I don't understand that part of it.
have to do at least 8 hours a day. And that's a lot, but I'm hoping that once I rest, tomorrow I'll be able to do a farther piece.
They really did not build in much margin for error. If 1 hour has Gino feeling like this, can he really make it 8 in one day?
I'm sore being in this car is getting to me. We still have like 6 hours to go to meet our goal, so I'm trying to hold it together to keep going. But it's really getting hard.
If he's already breaking down by 2 hours, I'm not feeling good about his odds of making it the whole day. Also, maybe that's not what you should be eating before meeting Dr. Now.
I remember when my grandpa and I were traveling from Texas to Michigan, because I lived in Texas when I was younger, and most of my family was up in Michigan. And so we were traveling up there, and yeah, my grandpa packed all kinds of sandwiches. He made egg sandwiches for breakfast and regular sandwiches. And so that's what we ate. We ate fairly healthy driving up to Michigan. So a lot of these people, they use their trip to Houston as an excuse to eat crap. And they shouldn't really do that, especially if you're more prone to blood clots and lots of bad stuff happening while on the road. You're only making it worse.
The show didn't show us the footage, but seeing as they made it in time, we have to assume that Gino played through the pain and went on multiple 8 to 10 hour car trips on the way down.
We called Dr. Now and let him know we weren't going to make it on time, and he moved my appointment a couple days.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, right? If you're in so much pain, you've got to be prepared to stop frequently. You need to get out, you need to stretch, you need to keep your legs moving to prevent blood clots, but also they probably stopped fairly often, having two very large people in the vehicle, needing to eat quite frequently. Like, you know, I remember Stephen Asante's episode, they had to stop every 100 miles. That's every hour and a half to 2 hours on the road. They had to stop for food. I mean, it's ridiculous.
This relationship, it's good to see that type of affection between Gino, Nico, and his uncle.
I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since I went and weighed myself.
Yeah, that's great. If you have other supportive families supportive of this decision to get weight loss surgery, and I've heard from many people who have said, yeah, my family was not supportive. They've even tried to sabotage my results. And that's very difficult. That's sad that you have family members, even parents, who are not supportive, who do not think that this is a good idea and will even sabotage you. And you might ask why that happens. Well, there could be jealousy. There could be feelings of superiority. There could be lots of reasons why family members don't want you to lose weight. Maybe it's a power struggle. They think that they have power over you because they get to take care of you. And they're afraid that if you get your life in order and you lose the weight and you're able to go out there and start your life, well, that changes the whole dynamic, right? Then you don't have power over that person. You know, because they're kind of helpless when they're stuck at 600 pounds and they could barely move. Like they're powerless, and you have that power over them. And so, yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. Family members who sabotage results to keep somebody fat, and that's just a whole part of the dynamic that people who are critical of overweight people don't realize, that they have family members and people around them who enable them and do their best to sabotage their results. Like. That's part of it.
I want to see a huge increase in my weight. I think it's over 600.
Your weight is 684.
That's never a fun number to see, and based on Gino's voiceover, he was probably expecting something closer to 600 than 700.
Yeah, it's very common to get that big and not realize how big you've gotten because you don't have a scale at home that goes to that size. Only recently in the past few years have those scales come out, and I got one and it goes up to 700. But yeah, he obviously thought that he was closer to 600 and then he steps on it and he's actually almost to 700. So if he got any bigger than that, he probably would not be doing, he probably wouldn't have much longer to live, especially since he's in his 30s now.
So, Mom, what do you think you can do to help him?
I'm not going to bring the food in the house when he asks me for it, and we've all been noticing it. He hides a lot of it.
This is something you tell yourself to justify enabling him.
As per usual, Dr. Now quickly identifies an enabling pattern and does his best to address it head on and stomp out the issue.
Yeah, and enablers don't like to admit that they're enablers, right? They don't want to say that they've had any hand in contributing to somebody's weight. You know, they're going to say, oh, it's that person's fault. And like most of it is, like 90% of it is, you ate the food. But to say that, oh, he's just hiding food, it's like, no, you went grocery shopping with him. Like, you put all that crap in the cart. You bought that stuff together. Like, you enabled him just as much as he enabled himself. So I don't know how much food he was actually hiding that you weren't giving to him. You were giving all of it to him. You were helping him cook. You were helping him continue to live that way. I mean, that's just true.
And you, the cousin, don't think I'm forgetting you in this. How often you all eat together with each other? How often you do that?
A lot. Every day. We have that deep culture of eating bad foods and just the bad habits.
Dr. Now.
That's exactly what I was talking about. There's a culture. There's a family tradition around food that goes very, very deep and has gone on for generation upon generation. It's not so easy to break. So you can blame somebody for being fat. Like, yeah, it's obvious. They are eating the food. They're putting it in their own bodies. They're doing it to themselves. But to suggest that there isn't a culture of eating that runs really deep, that there isn't a genetic component to it, really is being unfair to obese people, because there really is that genetic component. There is that eating culture.
Now then turns his attention to Nico, who doesn't exactly give a great defense of his eating habits. And Nico's going along for this weight loss journey. That's pretty encouraging.
So, I'm going to give you 1 month. If you stick to a healthy eating habit and the section I'm going to give you, you're going to be able to lose 60 pounds easily. Then I'm going to want you to move down here to Houston. Then I'll approve you for weight loss surgery.
That's quite the checklist, but Gino does have a path to weight loss surgery. Is he up for the challenge?
Today will be the 13th day that I've been on Dr. Now's diet. Now that it's been a little bit further along, it's getting easier.
Gino says he's doing better, which is good, but actions speak louder than words, so let's see what he's making for himself.
We got any spinach? They got the low-fat cheese.
No cheese. There is cheese in here, but I don't think it's cheese for you.
It's fine. Just give me a couple pieces.
But you can't use that cheese. It's not the low-fat one.
I understand that, but I wouldn't go over calorie if I use a slice.
Okay, that's not the best sign. Sure, he's putting spinach in it, but I don't think the eggs are a good choice, and he's fighting pretty hard for those slices of cheese, which is definitely not what you should be eating when you're on Dr. Now's diet.
I don't understand how eggs are off of Dr. Now's diet. Eggs are pretty low calorie and they have great protein, and they're just kind of like a superfood. They're packed full of nutrients and stuff like that. So eggs are very good. Having a slice of cheese in there, I have cheese with my eggs every single day. Not every single day, but quite often. So I don't see a problem with that. Not eating the low-fat cheese. So what?
It's been 3 weeks since I saw Dr. Now, and I know that I'm making some good progress. Nico has been here helping me do it every day.
For what it's worth, Nico seems to be holding up his end of the bargain as the two of them are out and pushing each other to go on a walk through the park.
Gino is definitely losing weight, I can tell. He's walking, and he's breathing better. He's not sucking wind really hard like he was already, and it's only been under a couple weeks.
While he's clearly not following the diet to a T, the fact that he's able to improve his mobility this much shows he's getting better.
All right, I got enough here. Make a salad. Go heavy on the veggies, and light on the meat. That's how we're gonna get to the promised land.
Credit to
It's great when you have somebody that you can walk with. So if you have a family that is not very supportive, there are support groups you can join. There are other people that you can go out and exercise with and have a good time with. A lady from church, a lovely lady, a friend of mine, asked today, she said, hey, when the weather starts getting nice, would you like to start going walking together? And I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. I mean, it's like there are all kinds of nature trails around here, and finding an opportunity to go out with other people who want to exercise, who want to eat healthy, I mean, that's really great.
To Nico here, he really seems to be an incredibly positive influence on Gino. Not only are they exercise buddies, but you can see he's also getting Gino to eat well when they're back home.
Jim has started a new family tradition, the weekly volleyball game, and we're all loving it. It's sort of like the family dinner, but it's healthier and more fun.
I mean, that's a great thing too, is if you do have a lot of unhealthy family traditions, you can counter them with new, healthier family traditions. Get together and do some stuff, throw the ball around, play baseball, join the baseball league, play volleyball. There are all kinds of ways that you can get out there as a family and exercise.
Wow, this is impressive. Only his 3rd month, and Gino is already at the point where he can participate in a group game of volleyball.
Well, it's time to see Dr. Now and see if we hit our goals. I'm a little nervous because it's been a long time since we've been here.
Now back in Texas, Nico and Gino are ready to weigh in and see how they've done on their journey.
Dr. Now said I need to at least lose 50 pounds a month, and I think I did good, but not that good.
Gino's right. There's no way Dr. Now expected him to lose 200 pounds on his own, but he might have wanted more than 70.
Nico was supposed to lose.
I don't know. I mean, unless he was given a 2-month goal to lose it and he only lost 70 in 2 months, Dr. Now might be upset about that, but I think 70 is pretty great. I've never lost 70 pounds in a month, but Maybe it was a 2-month or a 3-month goal. I'm not sure, but man, 70 pounds. From my perspective, that's really great, man. You're on top of it.
About 25 pounds a month. So that would mean you have to lose 100 pounds. So hopefully Nico has enough weight loss.
Both Gino and Nico started out really strong, but their progress has hit a major roadblock in the past few months.
Okay, so this might be in the middle of their story, and they were given a few months and didn't exactly hit their goals, maybe. I'm not sure. But, I mean, they're both losing weight consistently. I mean, that's a great sign that they're on the right track. They're not doing exactly what drnow wants them to do, but they're on the right track. They are trying. They are eating better. They are exercising. And they are getting better and losing weight, so that's great.
I will schedule you for weight loss surgery in 1 month. And if I give you a goal of 30 pounds in 1 month, if you lose, you think you can do that?
Lose 30 pounds in a month and get the surgery. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's see if they can do it.
A lot of hard work and strict dedication. This is definitely a huge day for me. This is a huge turning point in my life.
1 month later, Gino seems to be pretty good about his odds of earning that surgery.
Hi, Gino.
Hey, Doc.
It looked like you lost your weight and you're ready for the surgery.
I'm ready.
And look at that, he did it. Don't worry, we won't show the surgery itself, but it looks like last month's weigh-in was enough of a motivator to get Gino back on the...
That is awesome. I'm so happy for him. My heart jumps for joy when I see that they're actually able to meet their weight loss goals. They're doing great. They get the surgery, and yeah, I'll have to check up on them to see how well that they've done so far. But yeah, I'm really proud of them.
The right track.
Now that Gino has had a surgery, pressure is on for me to get mine.
As Nico steps onto the scale, he looks pretty confident, like he knows he hit that target weight.
That's what I'm talking about.
And his confidence was justified. I guess these two just really needed a wake-up call, and it's great to see them back on track.
That's awesome. Yeah, seeing them both being able to crush their goals, get to their weight loss goal, and actually getting the surgery. So yeah, that's amazing. I'm so proud of Gino and Nico. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Again, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. And I will see you guys later. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And God bless you.